A sad story in more ways than one. On the 23rd of July 2015, a young girl from Elkhart, Indiana, set fire to her family's home before stabbing her stepmother to death. Although this is disturbing and very tragic, the story behind it is not just sad, it's tragic and possibly could have been prevented. It's also strange, but unfortunately not unheard of. After the terrible killing of her stepmother, she informed the police that she had committed the crime because her invisible friend, Laughing Jack, had told her to. She was obviously very unstable mentally and was convinced Laughing Jack was talking to her, telling her to kill her stepmother. She told the police everything, and it was becoming apparent that she was suffering with some sort of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness. It was eventually discovered that a few months before, she had begged her father for help as she was in such turmoil mentally. Her father, unfortunately, didn't get her that help. Eventually, while in custody, she was diagnosed by more than one doctor with dissociative identity disorder. She was placed on medication and given counselling. Due to the severity of her psychiatric condition, the court ordered the state of Indiana to find her a suitable mental facility. This wasn't as easy as it sounded, as she was turned away from 16 hospitals due to the severity of her condition and the violent crime she had committed. The magistrate on this case said the young girl had been badly let down by the system. Quote, "The risk level for her is beyond anything I think anybody can imagine. For her not to be able to get the help she's crying out for is probably one of the biggest travesties I've seen so far with the system, and with a state agency not willing to step up and do their job." Close quote. Her case was dropped because doctors' reports stated she was not fit for trial. I believe she's in a psychiatric institute somewhere to this day. Who is Laughing Jack? Well, a creepypasta character who was created by Steve Akins and appears in the stories Laughing Jack and the Origins of Laughing Jack. The character is said to have strong dark powers that he uses to kill, terrorize, and manipulate lonely children. He can also give adults, mainly parents, nightmares and hallucinations. Although Jack's origins were quite the opposite. The story tells us that Jack was once a colourful, non-threatening toy, a normal Jack-in-the-Box, created by a guardian angel, and would take on the traits and personalities of the children he was around. All was well until one Christmas in the 1800s, a young lonely boy called Isaac was given the toy as a gift. As the boy grew, his personality and characteristics began to change. Turning darker, he would become a serial killer, kidnapping, torturing, and killing his victims. Meanwhile, 13 years went by. Jack lay dormant in his box, slowly losing his colour while gathering the darkness emanating from Isaac, slowly turning him into what would be called a demon. One day, by accident, Jack's box was opened and Jack was released, aiming straight for Isaac. A now bigger and stronger Jack attacked and killed Isaac, the same way Isaac had treated his victims. This was how the demonic Laughing Jack was born, and his hatred for children grew, going on to torment more lonely and neglected children, pretending to be their imaginary friend, only to eventually torture and kill them. Over time, his actions would cause him to lose all his colour, becoming the black and white clown you can see in the creepypasta stories about him today.